Hello, hello. I am back. I am back. And we're going to change the format just a little bit. Just. And what am I going to put? Whoop. Nope. Bam. That is some good tea. That is some good tea. Mm. Mm. Well, I just got done talking to other family members about Will Smith. Mm. And the situation that he unfortunately finds himself in after making that grave mistake of his career. Um, which is going to start picking up momentum in a freaking spiral nosedive with both wings collapsing on each other, sandwiched in between the fuselage of the plane and a gruesome end that will look like a shooting star coming from space down to Earth and all the bright lights in the middle of the night and poof. My dad predicted something like this would happen due to his involvement with Jada Pinkett and the shit that she drags through her house and her bedroom that he puts up with. So a lot of people have said a lot of things and made a lot of memes about the situation, and I just want to talk about it. But first things first, not to prove ourselves a fool, we're going to try to look up what everybody's talking about and what everybody's seeing. Again, my primary resource is just going to be YouTube and pulling some to feed because I'm pretty sure that he's being like hate bombed and everything else right now, and I don't want to add to it. But I do want to peek at what's going on. Should I? Hold on just a moment. Not sure that it's appropriate. And a lot of people in the manosphere are breaking everything down.
Consciousness to another version of yourself. Accessing all the skills. It's called verse.
Real lawyer.
There's a great evil spreading like the many verses, and you may be our only chance of stopping it.
It's crazy. You're starting to get it.
let's just be honest right now. Let's be honest, okay? That's orange. That is orange. And
Or
that's
even
okay.
now.
It's more blonde than orange.
Oh yeah,
100%.
for sure. Okay, Loki, why am I kind of vibing?
Yeah, I know.
like I don't hate it
As long as if she likes it, that's all that matters. You know?
right now. I don't hate it.
Okay, once it's straightened, we'll rate it.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna guess what you're gonna rate it.
What do you think?
No, I'm not telling you. I'll write it down.
Okay.
I'll put it in my notes.
Okay. As it's drying, it looks so much better.
Oh my god, look at that dark patch in the
Much
back.
better. It might look more yellow in different lighting, but like right now, it doesn't look too bad. Do I still look Asian?
Yes, Billy.
So my hair is a little.
If she likes it, that's all that
It's
matters.
not wet, but it's like damp.
But that's not the color she wanted. She wanted to go platinum blonde,
You want to?
which is what is gonna happen. Oh, girl, no. You straighten your hair after you bleached it. No. Don't do that. Oh God, don't do that. Not fucking. Don't put heat after you bleached your fucking hair.
Okay. Are you ready to rate it?
Girl,
Yeah. Okay.
what are you doing?
Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
In this.
All right. All right. This isn't the only time that Will Smith acted out, and so okay. I'm pulling out a lot of stuff all at the same time. Again, from different searches. So just one moment.
Man,
Just
can a
one
guy take
moment.
a vacation without something insane happening at the Oscars? As you probably know, Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. As a lawyer, I have some thoughts about this. But first, let's look at the video.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win.
Okay, so the funny thing about the setup is that it's kind of pedestrian. He's poking fun at Javier Bardem and his wife, who he doesn't name, which he really should. And he's just kind of ribbing, creating fake marital strife. And of course, he's going to turn to Will and Jada in a second, but it's kind of a pedestrian setup. And like, the joke is there's fake strife there.
He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
So here, Will Smith laughs, kind of a chuckle, not much. Jada's clearly not happy about that. Of course, the backstory here is that Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from alopecia, so she shaved her head because she was losing her hair. This is a medical condition, it is a disease, and of course, I'm sure she's incredibly self-conscious about it.
that was a
Kid gloves. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It might have been mean spirited, but no venom was in it. You know what I mean? So it's a soft tap. Not even. It's probably even a touch. A soft touch, because comedians, if they're talking about you and you show up on their radar, you got like freaking different levels to the heat, like different levels to a fucking like different levels to what type of pepper that you're about to get. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this ain't a jalapeno, it's a freaking habanero, or it's a freaking ghost pepper, or like a hornet, whatever. You know, there's different freaking levels to how freaking much of a roast that a person can get. So, like, light stuff. She didn't like it. He read her body language because he's eyeing her. Says a couple things and move on, right? Because he's trying to read the room so that he can entertain and find one of his jokes that'll actually stick.
nice one. Okay.
And the crowd turns on Chris Rock. You can imagine another universe where the next day, basically Chris Rock gets canceled because he makes fun of Jada because of a medical condition, all for a stupid joke that's a callback to a movie that's 20 years old. And the audience hated it. Like, they were against Chris Rock, and he's like, that's just a gentle ribbing. And, you know, true, it's not much. That's really, really...
Like, on the heat scale, like, if we were going to talk about actual, like, thermodynamics, that joke was lukewarm. Let's be honest.
Mild as these kind of roasts go. And on top of it, the crowd was already against Rock. This is an insane setup for what happens next.
I'm out here. Uh-oh.
Okay. So Will Smith gets up. Chris Rock here is just laughing because I think he thinks it's a bit. And also, this could be completely fake. It could be a made-up drama. They could have agreed to this ahead of time. We'll talk about the legal ramifications of that. But it looks genuine, like Chris Rock is going to engage in some colloquy with Will Smith as part of a bit, like making the joke, leaning into the joke. Of course, he leans in a different way. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so to me, that doesn't look like a punch. That looks like an open-fisted slap. He comes from below.
Open hand. God damn. Open hand. Closed fist. There's a difference. Like, a closed fist is a punch or a hammering blow, right? But a slap can disorientate you, and at the worst case, rarely knocks you out. You have to like freaking karate chop somebody to get that type of effect. But a fist will knock you clean the hell out if you hit the right button. I mean, ass in the air, freaking saying hello to Jesus for the next freaking 15 minutes. I'm talking gone. All right?
He slaps Chris Rock across the face. You would think the guy who played Muhammad Ali, who trained like Muhammad Ali, Will Smith, would know how to throw a real punch. And I don't think that's what he's doing there. I don't think he's throwing a real punch. And we'll talk about the ramifications of this open-fisted slap.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked out of me.
You gotta hand it to Chris Rock, though. Handles it like a pro. Is physically accosted and just rolls with it without missing a beat. I mean, I guess that's why he's Chris Rock.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
That's unnecessary. Number one, before this incident, those two had a friendship going. Okay? So that's just ridiculous. But Real Lawyer, this is from Real Lawyer Reacts. So if you're interested in some of the stuff that I'm going to kind of look at and bring up, we're going to try to rewind some of try to go over some of the things why Will Smith is kind of sort of double thinking and deranged. It was deranged at this point and lost his daggone mind, because there's no other way to explain it. It's like he gave up control of himself just because somebody didn't like the joke. But I'm pretty sure that there's some footage of him simmering before getting up to smack Chris Rock. But that's not. He just freaking ruined his own future career with that move, in my opinion. And it'll take away from his freaking children's freaking appreciation and way of life. It like his wife might leave him for another dude because he's dangerous. I smell bullshit afoot, where he's going to spend some time alone and rediscover himself or find himself again and be more grounded. And I don't know if he apologized to Chris Rock yet, but I would not take it. I would not take it at face value, because I'm. The thing about actors is hard to tell when some of them are telling the truth and being genuine, because they turn the feels on like that. So you always gotta have proof and test out the people that you associate yourself with. Let's go ahead and continue.
I'm going to, okay?
Man, you'd think there's got to be some past history here, and we'll talk about what that means. That doesn't seem like a normal reaction to a lame joke that's really modest, but he's clearly furious. That's very interesting that he's that angry. We'll see if that plays into the charges, the potential charges, and the potential defenses. But that is a really weird reaction. How often do you hear about people physically assaulting people for a mild dig like this?
Okay. That was greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
And then Chris Rock tries to play it off with a joke. I would love to know if Chris Rock has ever been accosted in a comedy set.
Yes.
Bigger shots at.
Yes. He done it too often to freaking. He earns money from this.
Much more violent people, and yet here we are in the Oscars, and Will Smith slaps him. And then, of course, Will Smith wins the Oscar for Best Actor. That's just insane. I'm actually...
Oh my God. His daughter's taking after his mother. And what the fuck is this? Bro, put that shit back. Like, the daughter looks nice, but no. No.
Surprised that the Academy went through with awarding it, given that in the past people like Jeremy Clarkson have been fired from some of the most popular TV shows in the world. I'm kind of surprised that the Academy went through and gave Will Smith his award. He, of course, made a pseudo-apology during his acceptance speech, and in the past, Will Smith has talked about not wanting to be a vessel for violence and being a vessel for love.
Bullshit, 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 bullshit. You always look at what a person has done to determine what he's going to do. And it'll give you a fairly accurate read. If a person treats people like shit, you find out the exact reasons why, and circumstances or the closest approximation to, and make your own choice for yourself. Because even though people like outside looking in, that's weird. That came out of nowhere. Will Smith been on the decline for years. I mean, like, there's memes about him being stupid in real life. From him not being respected by his own wife. So, but that's just my opinion. Okay? I'm not trying to slander him. I'm just trying to I'm just going to focus, okay?
It is incredibly
bullshit
ironic that all of this happened
to me
at roughly exactly the same time. Just insane. Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about whether this constitutes assault and battery. And obviously, it depends, because everything always depends. I'm just kidding. This is definitely assault and battery. Under California Penal Code 240, assault is the attempt to use violence against someone. It's not
the attempt. You don't have to be successful. Like, literally, you can pick a rock up and throw it 180 degrees away from the person that deserves that freaking first class freaking mail. That's petty as shit. Glad I'm not in California anymore. I'd be in jail. Goddamn. I should be close to being in jail right now, to be honest with you, but oh well. You fight for another day of freedom. Hold on, my mic slipped up a little bit, and I'm just tightening the screw so that it's level and everything again. Alright. I think I fixed it. So let's continue.
Not the actual physical violence itself, it is the attempt. Battery, on the other hand, is the actual physical touching and the
successful physical attempt of battery and other violence.
Force and violence against somebody else. Specifically, California Penal Code 242 defines battery as any willful or unlawful use of force or violence against the person of another. Now, you can be
physical, personal, or physical damage. That's what that's what laws are there for. Personal and physical damage between one person to another. And the laws are there to usually protect people or organizations from unfair practices. But that's another thing for a different day. But what he's talking about is specifically in California or the California territories of what applies. I'm not sure where the Academy Award took place. I think in Southern California, but I'm not sure. So it's been years since I paid attention to the Academy Awards, and the first thing that caught my attention this past week is Will Smith slapped the shit out of somebody. And everybody in the room was going, Will Smith? Like, Aunt Viv Will Smith? No, all right, yeah. Yeah. The Freshie Fresh of the Prince Will Smith? Yeah, so, like.
Prosecuted for battery, even if you don't cause any physical injury or pain. Really, all that's required is that you physically touch that person. And simple battery is a misdemeanor that carries with it a potential 6 months in jail, that's the maximum, and a $2,000 fine. Now, obviously, those maximums aren't dished out on the regular. Now, obviously here, since Chris Rock was able to continue with the set almost like nothing happened, you can understand that he didn't really suffer any long-lasting injury or pain. He just kind of rolled with it. But just because Chris Rock did...
Chris Rock comes from what? Philly? No, Philly. Not. Let's find out. Just do the wiki. I don't see anybody talking, so I'll continue. Saturday Night Live, Down to Earth, Head of State, The Longest Yard, Madagascar series, Grown Ups 2, Top 5. Born in Andrews, South California. Yeah, that looks familiar. I probably passed it a couple of times. Two kids. Tony Rock. Anthony Rock. So yeah, he comes out of Crown Heights in Brooklyn. Oh my God. So he might be a small man, but he might be a little bit in the know. Because these motherfuckers, like, successful people out of New York are like LL. They got their whole block coming with them. He wasn't ready for that shit on that award ceremony, but damn. Will Smith won't step to Chris anytime soon. Oh well. Back to the finger thing. Ready?
Didn't suffer any demonstrable pain or injury. And obviously he felt pain when he was slapped, but there's probably no ongoing injury there. That doesn't mean that Will Smith cannot be prosecuted for assault and battery. Though by the same token, the fact that Will Smith did not use a closed-fisted punch with all of his might, that probably means that if potential charges came, they're not going to be the maximum. The police have better things to do than press these kind of charges. But you can imagine if he did punch Chris Rock Muhammad Ali style, that maybe that would convince the district attorney to move forward, and that might up the charges to something on the more severe end of the charges that you can bring, simply because it would have injured Chris Rock more. Now, this almost goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of people have brought up the self-defense argument here. Defending your wife from hurtful words does not qualify as a justification for using self-defense or any kind of...
Oh, man. So many people need to hear that shit again.
to something on the more severe end of the charges that you can bring, simply because it would have injured Chris Rock more. Now, this almost goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of people have brought up the self-defense argument here.
Self-defense, as it, all right, for those that are more intelligent, self-defense is defending yourself from the potential of an attack or a currently ongoing attack, right? That's self-defense, not in defense of another. So the selfishness is gone. There's no argument for defending, white knighting for somebody else when you weren't the target. And like after the bad joke, Chris moved on. He didn't keep Jada a target. So that's something that
defending your wife from hurtful words does not qualify as a justification for using self-defense or any kind of force against another person. Though if Chris Rock consented to it, that would defeat it. If Will Smith did agree ahead of time with Chris Rock to engage in this punch for the publicity or whatever, then that would mitigate any charges. Consent would be a defense to this kind of assault.
Ugh. That's a bad picture. I'm just say that now. If you saw the back of Will Smith's head and still could see this ear, but you saw Chris Rock's whole face, that would have been a better one.
Battery. Additionally, some people are throwing around the First Amendment exception of fighting words. This definitely doesn't qualify as fighting words. Again, this is just...
Oh my God. No.
A joke, a bad joke against another person. Basically, the whole words are violence crew on Twitter, very, very wrong in many different ways. There is no justification for using force against someone who just says mean things against you. At least no legal justification.
Man, thank you. I can't believe, like, somebody's saying the freaking common sense stuff that people seem to be lacking.
And in fact, I actually found a California jury instruction, the law that is given to the jury in a case like this, that specifically says that words cannot give rise to violence. Specifically, the jury instructions say words, no matter how offensive, and acts that are not threatening are not enough to justify assault or battery. Yeah, so fighting words, not applicable here. Now, that being said, a lot of different news sites are reporting that Chris Rock doesn't want to file charges, doesn't want to press charges against Will Smith.
Doesn't matter.
And as if that ends the inquiry. It actually doesn't. Almost always, even if the victim decides not to press charges against someone, a district attorney can still move forward with the case. Now, there are certainly some pragmatic considerations. If the main witness who was the victim of a crime doesn't want to testify, well, then you're going to have a hard time proving your case. And a lot of people have said online that, if Chris Rock doesn't want to testify, there's no way that they can authenticate the video.
Bullshit.
Or, make the case. I guarantee if the police wanted to press these charges, they don't need to call Chris Rock. They could call anyone that was in the auditorium at the time. Those people could authenticate the videotape and they could testify as to their firsthand witnessing as to what happened. So that's to say that the normal considerations where the victim is the only witness to a crime don't apply here. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of witnesses who can not only testify to direct witnessing that they did, but can authenticate the videotape that was internationally broadcast around the world. But the bottom line here is that Will Smith started making trouble in his neighborhood. He got in one little fight. It's time that he move in with his auntie and uncle in Bel Air. Hopefully this video doesn't get demonetized because of the violence and the cursey words that were used throughout. But if it does, you should go watch an ad-free version of this video over on Nebula, where I have all of my exclusive content, including my first documentary, Bad Law Words Good, videos that are exclusive to Nebula, because I always have to worry about my content getting demonetized on YouTube. And in fact, now is a great time to get access to Nebula because we have an exclusive deal with CuriosityStream, which has some of the greatest documentary content on the internet. And you can get a bundle deal between CuriosityStream and Nebula where you get Nebula for free. So if you enjoy Legal Eagle, if you would like exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else, bloopers, extended versions, new videos, my first long-form documentary, Bad Law Words Good. All of that content is available exclusively on Nebula, which you can get for free with CuriosityStream just by using the link that is on screen right now. There's simply no better deal in streaming right now. You get 2 great streaming platforms for less than $15 per year at the current sales price, and you'll actually watch that content. Plus, you'll be helping out educational content creators like myself. So click on the link that's on screen right now or down in the description to get both Nebula and CuriosityStream for less than $15 per day. And while you're there, click on this playlist over here with all of my other reactions to crazy legal things. Sometimes it's drama, sometimes it's the Oscars. So click on this link or I'll see you in court.
All right.
Oh, wow. You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are... He can't... that Will Smith wins. Like, please. Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
This is too much of a setup for me. But because that I knew this person way back when, I'm going to try to...
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Okay, so we all know what happens from there, but I wanted to say this. If you notice, I can go back and show how Jada's face looked really annoyed and all that. But I want to talk about Will. It is not Chris Rock that he's mad at. Guys, he is mad at all that has been going on, especially the content creators that have been making so much content about their marriage because they decided to open up about infidelities, about they're not having love. I don't know. It's just a bunch of mess. And they've put it out there for everybody to see. And a lot of people, I don't know if they thought they would have a good reaction, that people would be like, oh, we go through the same things. Us normie people who are married, we have the same things. And trust me, I know there could be a lot of drama and a lot of things that go on behind closed doors. But when they open that door, and they feel like they were being authentic, which I get it, because I'm actually into that as well. I feel like being authentic.
You're not authentic, but that's not the argument here. The point is that they opened up their relationship to the world, and everybody can freaking pick them apart piece by miserable piece. And he doesn't like being put on. He didn't like at that time being vulnerable, turned down by his wife by the sound of everything that happened on, I think, Red Table. But long story short, it's just bad.
Authentic and being yourself and that type of thing is, it's my opinion to go that way. But what happened is that I don't think Will thought he would be seen the way he is. A lot of men thought he looked weak, crying, and his wife really.
He is weak because he's broken, because he's married to a woman that doesn't really care about him, and it destroys him from the inside out. Been through it. And that's the simple explanation freaking after freaking 10 years almost of abuse. So, say what you want to say about it. But a woman that's married to somebody that she doesn't care about, it's not like an instantaneous freaking thing where you notice it and you notice everything right away. It's like the freaking crab or frog that's in the pot and it doesn't realize that it's starting to cook them. And to make matters worse, this type of stuff is like eats away at you like acid. It will literally eat away at you like acid from the inside out when you're coupled with a bad partner. Not necessarily a bad woman or a bad man, just a bad partner. It could be you, anybody else, in my opinion, right? But if you and your partner aren't on the same page, it's starting to disagree, it's better for you to cut your losses, separate yourself, move the hell on. And he's holding on to a person that is toxic and it's destroying him. It's like you're holding on to a boulder on its way down to the deepest part of the ocean. And you're holding on, you're lost all your air, your lungs are crushed, you're bleeding from the pressure rapidly building, but you're holding on. You don't notice all that first because it's a slow descent. You can still take up air, but in a bad relationship, it could be 4 years later. It's real freaking rocky, you know. Your partner is sleeping with somebody else and she is freaking tearing your tearing your person, your image down and dragging it through the mud when it suits the other person. So be careful, because this is the result of a bad relationship. I 100% guarantee.
Embarrassing him, because I think most people had Will Smith in a certain place in their mind, and then when things came out with their marriage, especially for a lot of men, it lowered him greatly, and he was becoming really a meme, just being made fun of, and it was seen as though his wife wears the pants in the relationship.
She does, but that's no excuse. He willingly put himself in that position. Period.
And so when he slapped Chris Rock, I think we all know that was not for Chris Rock. That was for everybody who's had anything to say about either one of them. I think he's been under a lot of emotional stress. And we'll look at his speech now, because his speech really tells it that he's really emotional. Now, like I said, I've been emotional on the internet.
Yes, she has. That part I can relate to her on. That freaking part right there is genuine. She has been emotional is a nice way of saying it, though. Melanin King, you better keep telling the truth, though, and stop with the setup that you're doing. Be genuine. Whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. People will recognize you for what you are. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll be emotional again
for now,
soon, because I'm going through a couple things myself. So if you see your girl on the internet crying again, just know it's just what it is, because it's just how I gotta express myself, and it's just how I choose to do it. But if you look at, this speech, let's go ahead and take a look really quickly, actually.
It is a beautiful moment, and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light on all of the people, Tim and Trevor and Zach.
I'm not sure that he's being genuine, but he's worried about a lot of stuff right now and it's crushing him, probably, if he's a regular person.
And Sanaya and Demi and Ingenue and the entire cast and crew of King Richard and Venus and Serena, the entire Williams family. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things.
No. Addiction makes you do crazy things. Addiction. That right there is not love. It's one-sided. I believe. No, I believe that Will Smith loves Jada. Period. I never heard Jada say that she loved Will Smith. I might have been wrong. I might be wrong. But I never... Like, I can remember Will all about Jada, loving Jada, this, that, and the third about Jada. His first marriage fell apart. Next person, Jada. It's kind of interesting.
Wait, did you guys see Jada like approving this message and him? She's like shaking her head and approving of what he did. And, you know, actually, I mean, she has a great head for that cut. Let's just, I mean, or however, I don't know if it's the loss that makes it like that or she cut it like that. Either way, it actually is a great, I mean, she has the face for it. But I'm just kind of floored by this because it was showing him he was just being very emotional. And like again, you can get to a breaking point, and I understand it. A lot of people snap, they have a breaking point. But the reality is it just...
As a man, at least from a man's standpoint, people lose respect for you when you can't hold your nerve and keep yourself together in public. Nobody died. Like, his mother didn't have a heart attack. He didn't just receive bad news about any of that shit to excuse his behavior. So, like, what's the excuse? I'm under a lot of pressure. So's the rest of the natural working world. I mean, have a bad marriage, end it. I mean, it's like saying, I have a bad hamburger, but I love the taste of this hamburger. What should I do? Stop eating the hamburger. Right? Throw that shit away. Get rid of it. It's not good for you. And like, you outside looking in, and you know what like freaking good food tastes like, looks like, and you see this man eating a rancid hamburger. Flies, maggots, and all that other type of stuff, freaking pus coming out that shit. And you're like, dude, put that shit away. But because that hamburger is named Jada, and that's what he been on for the longest time, it doesn't matter if it's bad for him. He'll still go back to that source of happiness to get a little bit more. That's an addiction. not love, not respect. He's addicted to Jada. He doesn't love Jada.
I think a lot of women may be like, oh, cheering him on, but I think a lot of men, I mean, some men may be saying, well, he defended his wife's honor, but it made him also look kind of weak, like he couldn't take a very light joke. Like it's that delicate over there that,
Yes.
you know, even light jokes
Tell it.
will set him off.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think somebody needs to be checking on Will Smith. It's no, I'm not gonna make laughing matter about mental health, but I don't want to blame it on that as well, because a lot of people are just angry and they want to.
If he cracked like that off of a light freaking hearted joke, the pressure on the other side might be immense. Where he might kill himself. He might do a Robin Williams. So, definitely, good thought right there.
Want to take out their aggression on other people, really unprovoked. That was not enough for him to get up and hit him. He could have just said, he could have yelled another joke. He could have, I mean, there's 1,000 things he could have done other than walk up there and assault him. He could have got up there, taken the mic, or done something and told a joke about Chris Rock's ex-wife or his girlfriend or whoever he's with. He could have done.
Exactly. He could have fired back and freaking sucked the air out of the room.
Done a lot of things to turn the.
But he hasn't been in a spot where he can think on his feet like that. I'm be honest with you. Not at all.
Tied, but hitting someone, really, do we really think that joke alone was what did it? And I get her alopecia, they've been dealing with it.
No. It's not justified at all. If he said something about his mother that just died, just matter of fact, not even his mother. Maybe let's say that she died like a week ago. And let's say that she, as in hypothetically, Jada Pinkett, freaking died for whatever reason. Let's say that she died for whatever reason, and he did a G.I. Jane joke like, well, I guess we won't get that new G.I. Jane with your wife gone, huh? That right there would have been like, that right there would have been too soon. And a valid reason, in my opinion, for losing it like that. It won't justify what happened, but somebody that close to you that you're heavily invested in like that, dying, and somebody treating it lightly with it, they're passing like that with a joke, you'll snap that shit right back in the line. This isn't the actions to preserve a relationship. It's desperation. And like, I've seen it before in myself and a few other people that suffers from the same shit.
There's no way you can convince me that pushed him over the edge. Okay. That was the only thing. Something else is going on deeper, because he should have been pushed over the edge last year when she was at the round table talking about an entanglement. Go fight that dude. That's the dude I'm looking for. That was all up in my house doing what I should have been doing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's your girl Melanie, and yeah.
Yep. Jada did that too.
What's up, guys? McDoubles back here with a brand new video. Today we're gonna be.
No.
There's no way you can convince me that pushed him.
Chris Rock on stage presenting makes.
This is a random thing from Global News, and like I know it's getting to be freaking bad, but we're gonna go back to that Will Smith one where she was sleeping with somebody else and that shit was on all over the internet with Real Talk, and I gotta make sure that we freaking get to Steve. All right.
Makes a crack, makes a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, and Will Smith is having none of it. Take a look.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Wow.
This is after the slap. We're not going to be focusing on like freaking blow by blow over and over again because that drives my shit crazy. But we're going to skip to the juicy bits and good parts.
So that is what happens on live television. Joining us now, ET Canada's Sangeeta Patel. I can still see it. I think every time we watch this, it just gets even more shocking.
I can't. I was there watching the show, la 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 la. I was doing his thing, awkward, cringy moments with the hosts, and then that moment happens. I mean, first of all, Chris Rock was killing it right before that joke. I think he was doing an amazing job. There's so much history to this joke because we know Jada Pinkett Smith is dealing with alopecia. The G.I. Jane joke was a little bit too sensitive. He made fun of her at the 2016 when he was the Oscar host. So this was a sensitive moment. When Will went up, we thought it was a joke because he was actually laughing right before that moment. But something triggered him. I think something was said between Jada and Will at that moment, or he saw her face. He went up and legit slapped Chris Rock, got up and...
Back though.
Yeah, he said in his acceptance speech that Denzel told him that at your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you.
I'm the devil. If I'm Chris Rock, I'm the devil that's coming for him. I'm coming up out that Purple Tom Ford, or Brioni, or a Caesar Antolini. I don't know who that was, but I'm coming up out of that. I'm coming up out of these clothes, but I don't care nothing about that. Man, you can't do that to somebody, Skip. So now comedians, can they not say anything or worried about people coming up on stage? So don't go, listen, if you're sensitive, don't you take your ass to no comedy show.
I like this nigga right here, dog. Oh, man. Why? The simp heard around the world. Oh, Joe Rogan too? Oh, I see where it is. Okay. But, oh, man.
These are comedians, and they make light of situations. So if you go down there and you got on some bull jive, they're going to make fun of you. If you look like some bull jive, they're going to make fun of you. Chris Rock should have thought about. I say the joke. The person that I say the joke about, her husband, so now I already feel tension. I feel confrontation. Or I'm getting off the first one. Because the moment I feel confrontation, I got to end it. I'm not finna let you walk up on me like that. We argue, Skip, we going back and forth. You across the room, and here you come walking towards me. What I think, you coming to offer me a drink? What he should have done is what DC Young Fly did last year when somebody came up on the stage and whipped him. He's protecting his wife. Well, where was her protection of a man when she was at the red table talking about what she was doing with this entanglement? Where was her protection of her husband? He a bigger man than me. I ain't that big a man. Ain't a road high enough for me.
We're going to get to the red table. We're going to get to that. But that's the freaking cesspool, the acid. That's the freaking dumb shit that I was talking about earlier. Like, a man likes to fortify himself, right? Likes to look good and, put on a show that he's fine and can do whatever it is that he's supposed to do or whatever it is that he wants to do. But when cracks like this stop showing up and he's starting to act out for a little stupid shit, something bigger is happening on the inside where everything is not right. And again, what I'm hearing is their relationship is fucked. Their relationship is fucked. So, like, in a desperate attempt to look good, masculine, and manly in front of the person that he likes, he's willing to slap a friend of probably better than 20 years in the making. That's fucked up.
For me to take.
Here's the thing of it. I understand that defending the honor of your wife. I'm that dude. But you don't have to do something. He didn't dishonor her. For that. He didn't do that. That joke was not worthy of the reaction. If he was going to have a reaction, I think that Will should have done the man thing, was step to him afterwards in that press room. And if he wanted to slap Chris then, he could have slapped Chris in the press room and seen how it went. But see,
Will laughed.
But see, he laughed at the joke till he saw Jada's reaction. Yeah. Now, now, let me tell you something.
See? We're going to get to that. If I can see it, we're going to get to that. Because a lot of people are saying the same thing. It was funny until he saw Jada's reaction. Excuse me. Then it's not funny. Then he got upset and offended.
That's a Hollywood move now. To go up there on national TV, slap another black man, turn around your back and walk off because you know he can't do nothing. See, and I know this. I know he know this because Will been in Hollywood long enough. So now to turn your back and walk off, you're going to slap the dude and then turn around and walk off. You know in real life that ain't the way this going to go. You already know. You know. And
you're right. Let that been a regular freaking black dude up there at freaking the hole in the wall near Elbow Joe's freaking corner and shit. Serving freaking chicken wings and hot things. You know, come up on stage, you either likely to get shot or freaking have two freaking feet stuck in your chest. Because, like, dudes around here are ready to throw. Like, young bucks, old bucks, don't matter. They got some tools to go with the fight. You know what I mean? So, like, I definitely am feeling that part of the Steve Harvey conversation. Now, I don't particularly like Steve Harvey personally, but that shit don't matter. There's a couple of things that he did in his ministry, talking about freaking wealth and everything like that, and preying on freaking people sensitive to fucking giving up more and more money to receive a blessing from God. That type of bullshit is stupid because it's predatory. But I will say this. In this instance, I believe Steve Harvey is right based on my personal beliefs and life experiences.
And Rock is a Jersey boy. So no. So, and I didn't think the moment was that. And I think he overreacted, like Carla said. He paid too much into the moment. His acceptance speech, that was raggedy, apologizing to the Academy. But here's what I think is going to happen. When this go down and wake up the right way, there's going to be some type of banning from the Oscars of Will Smith.
Yeah.
Because look, they took Kanye off the Grammys. They took him off the Grammys. The Oscars is all Hollywood is about. It's their biggest moment. And for you to do that on the biggest moment,
yeah,
on
they don't condone violence. They don't. The Academy does not condone violence.
Denzel told him right.
Yeah.
In your biggest moment is when the devil comes for you.
Yeah.
You should have handled that.
What did you think as you watched it unfold, and then what happened after?
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if any...
We're not the cool club anymore. Meaning, like, oh, man. There's so many racial connotations in that type of thing. But he's right. And it's sad to see that the freaking person that wanted to be the most bougie is the most ratchet. That's fucking hilarious. Let me put my headphones back on, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I promise we'll get through it. It won't be too much longer, I don't think.
Anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And you know, it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
This is a day that we all will never forget.
I can tolerate this gentleman. Obviously, I'm subscribed to him, but I'm not here for his commentary and everything like that. So if you want to see the rest of that, hit DeMarcus up at his channel. Or
I was sickened.
So this is another good gentleman. If I remember correctly, he goes up and down the East Coast doing social experiments and interviews. So really, really, really good person. In my opinion. Now, he's a straight shooter, whether he's right or wrong. He usually says on his mind and have a standpoint to speak on or to defend or something like that. He doesn't get out of control or anything like that. Manosphere. Man, everybody in the Manosphere is talking about his dumb shit.
By the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's...
Thing was step to him afterwards.
Last night, I was waiting for him.
Let me tell you what I think this is.
I apologize.
Crime. But for all of these jokes and the rampant commentary.
I was waiting for him.
Let me tell you what I think this is.
Brother, I apologize.
But through all of these jokes and the rampant commentary that's being offered, there is a conversation that is being neglected, a truer assessment of what we observed on that Oscars stage. For the first time, we saw the real Will Smith. Not a Fresh Prince, not a survivor of a zombie apocalypse in I Am Legend, not a crime-fighting cop in the movie Bad Boys or the Hancock superhero, but the real Will Smith, an incredibly...
That is freaking powerful. Let's just a little bit.
Zombie apocalypse in I Am Legend, not a crime-fighting cop in the movie Bad Boys or the Hancock superhero, but the real Will Smith, an incredibly broken man and the residual product of a directionless society that is filled with them.
Oh, she's about to go off, but I agree with her so far on that point. The idea that he's been acting so long, he's so used to putting on for the camera, how much of him is really true? How much of him is actually Will Smith versus the Will Smith, the public figure?
The kind of society that produces men that look to their more domineering wives with their tails planted firmly between their legs for instruction on what and who they ought to be in every room.
See, that's why it's important to be yourself, to stand up for yourself against people that do you harm. And sometimes the greatest challenge is to do these things to the ones that you love, because nobody's going to hold them to that standard of don't fuck with me but you. And that includes your wife, that includes your kids, that includes everybody. Everybody likes to test the water and see what you're willing to take and put up with until you snap. And when he snapped, that was the raw, emotional Will Smith. I'm not into the society bullshit because that sounds like passing the buck off to freaking straw man that don't exist. You know? Personal responsibility. Will Smith did that. Will Smith decided to do that. Will Smith decided to make sacrifices that aren't paying off, and he's worried about his future. Period. It's that simple, but it's hard to articulate. But she's saying it right.
Go off.
The truth is that off the big screen, Will Smith has been spiritually annihilated by his wife.
That's a fact.
Don't forget, it was Jada Pinkett Smith who openly shared with the world how she cheated on her husband, remember? And with who? Her son's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jada carried
We're going to confirm that story because apparently it's on the interwebs.
out an extramarital affair with a young man who was at first friends with her son. Then she dragged her puppy dog husband out onto the world stage and told the public while making him sit through it, listen to it, and agree that she had the right to do what she did.
You forgot to mention friend's son with mental health issues. Y'all always seem to leave that out. Okay? Let's keep going.
Don't believe me? Take a look yourself.
During that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
I feel like that husband.
She doesn't feel good because she's not satisfied. Take that statement with a grain of salt, please. She doesn't feel good because she refuses to be satisfied. Will Smith, I believe, is a nice guy that's going through a lot of hard things and is trying desperately to hold on to a dream that evaporated.
Husband, like, I'm with you at the press conference. I'm that husband. Now I got to be with you at the press conference while you like tell the world about your transgressions. Like, I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
Well, you know, I definitely understand why it would look.
That's that. Remember that freaking hamburger, that freaking rancid hamburger that I keep on talking to you about? That you're addicted to that freaking shitty piece of freaking rancid mess. That's this. She's not looking out for her husband. She's not like, what diseases has she exposed him to with her interaction with other people? She's paying a price and is not telling him. That's my concern. None of my business. Not my business. Just my concern outside looking in. And he's can't get enough. Like freaking a mediocre woman that would treat him with respect and love. He would cling on to that. At this point, he would cling on to that and paint her face on it. He's addicted.
Look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all.
The takeaway from this
She doesn't think that she did anything wrong.
interview was that they together represented some newer, more progressive form of what it means to be in a marriage, which is to say, not being in a real marriage at all.
Yeah.
Will
Bullshit.
Smith today is someone who should be pitied, not prosecuted in a courtroom or even persecuted in the public eye, but pitied by every person who has the clarity to see how our society, as sponsored by the perversion of these Hollywood types, is falling apart. Will Smith is what Jordan Peterson cautions against. He's nothing more than a casualty in the great war against masculinity.
Whoa.
G.I. Jane, by the way, for those of you who haven't seen the 1997 movie, tells the story of a woman being integrated into the all-male space of the United States military. It is the inspired tale of the loss of one woman's femininity to meet the grueling physical demands of the more masculine environment that she finds herself in. And so, though perhaps not the punchline that Chris Rock had intended,
She
I
would be
have
good
to agree
fit.
that yes, Jada Pinkett would be the perfect individual to play that role in the remake. Not because of her hair, obviously, but because of her success in stripping her husband of any trace understanding of what it means to be a real man.
Wow.
And let me tell you, Will, it isn't slapping a man across the face because your wife tells you to. I'm sorry to say that real manhood is not won on a stage at the Oscars with a meaningless trophy. Rather, real manhood begins and ends in your own household.
Whoa.
It starts with the first step of being able to accurately identify what a good man, what a good woman, and what a good, meaningful relationship even is.
There's a lot of things that I don't agree with Candace Owens on, but when she talks about gender dynamics, when she talks about masculinity, when she talks about femininity, there's like nothing that I can disagree with her on.
And with that, we wish you luck, Will, on your real life pursuit of happiness.
Whoa. She's good.
That was so much smoke, man. You don't even know. Woo!
Denzel told him that at your highest moment, be careful.
Oh, we already heard that. Let me. Okay. Joe Rogan.
Chris Rock said one of the most mild jokes ever.
Yeah.
It was pretty mild.
Jada
I thought so.
Pinkett is bald. Apparently, I didn't know this. I found out after the fact that she didn't shave her head voluntarily. She shaved her head because she's suffering from alopecia.
Yeah, I didn't know this either.
So I don't know if Chris knew this, but Chris says a joke around
G.I. Jane
G.I.
2.
Jane 2, looking forward to it.
Now, mind you, this is coming from Joe Rogan, someone who has also gone bald and has talked about his hair struggles throughout his show. Okay, let's keep going.
Very mild, just laughed and even said, come on, that was nice. And then Will Smith initially laughs.
Yes.
But it looked like Jada was upset. And so Will changes his tune, walks on stage, and smacks Chris Rock in the face at the Oscars. And then says, keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yes, he does.
And then he goes, come on, man, that was a G.I. Jane joke. And he screams it out like,
keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I don't know who that is.
His lips were quivering, and he. First of all, that whole scene doing that in that manner in that place is a great example of what's wrong with the glorification of just being able to go up to someone and smack them in the face, because that is that whole thing was so
I'm gonna disagree
weird.
with you here.
Please do. Well, what is your
But
take?
I want to let you.
Before
I
my
want you
take.
to finish though.
Well, no, you said you were going to disagree with me.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't actually think that there's any glorification of violence in the sense of free capability on Will's part.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for one, I don't think that there was any inherent given that you could just get away with it. I think that whatever Will did, he did it, and he was like, whatever comes with it, that I'll have to own up to it.
I don't think he was thinking that far ahead at all.
Maybe he wasn't, but
I
maybe
think
he's
he was
like
being
in this moment.
emotionally fragile,
probably,
and he acted on impulse.
Sure.
And I think it's a foolish impulse that you do when you know there's no consequences.
If you ever wanted to know what it's like being in a relationship with a predator, what it's like being in a relationship with a narcissistic person, what it's like being in a relationship with
my ex-wife. Sorry, it hits home so much. So like I spent the better part of fucking, I'd like to say 8 years recovering from the destructive tendencies, and I'm still dealing with issues to this day, just off one bad relationship.
woman who leads a man, then look no further to the Smith family. And it's a damn shame, just like Candace Owens said, that he's a product of the feminist movement, of which he's had to remain silent as his masculinity.
Tired of only being able to wear your cosplay around the house?
No. Next.
Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me Stephen A. Smith.
Will do, sir.
And so my point is, I will tell you this, and my girl knows this.
This guy is a disgusting fool. He said some pretty controversial things in the past, including saying that certain people ain't black on live TV. You don't do that. You don't like, number one, as a professional on TV, you don't insert yourself and your beliefs into anything. You keep it as freaking. You keep everything as professional as possible. Now, I believe his statement was geared towards Tiger Woods and what he did one year. That's not the point. The point is, be careful about what you say and conduct yourself accordingly. Now, for these people, like a comedian that needs to take a risk to say some freaking stuff, and they got the social skills to navigate through it and read the room, fine. That's the risk that they take up. But you'll never fucking slap your friend over a sexual partner of any type.
Anybody knows this. You even utter a word about my personal life, you will no longer exist in it. I don't play that game. You will not be somebody that publicize my personal life and remain in it.
I agree with the sentiment, but I'm making a I'm going to skip it.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. By the way,
the quartering usually comes out with good ideas.
I ranked all 150.
if you found this video in YouTube search or you haven't yet subscribed, I do between 5 and 7 videos a day, 5 to 6 days a week here, covering everything from pop culture to, you know, meme news and everything entertainment. If you haven't yet, I hope today will be the day to earn your subscription. Just click that red subscribe button down below the video. I would greatly appreciate it.
That's another thing for a different
finding
day.
my videos much easier. It lets YouTube know people actually like my channel or the content. Now, very convinced that it was real. I know some people are still hanging on, but I think as we collect more and more information, it was definitely real. Second, the hypocrisy of it all. Imagine, do you think for men to
I wonder what would happen if the gender was reversed for the guy receiving the slap to the face. What if it was a woman comedian that said that? Would he still slap her? Would you still have the same standpoint? Would it be self-defense or defense of a spouse that doesn't really need it or respect you for it?
I think it is harmful for the trans athletes.
No, not doing it. Not today. Not right now. Just stuff I want to see later. 2 hours. No.
Oh my God.
See? See? He done it before and got away with it. He done it before and got away with it and was cheered because of it.
There's growing outrage today over the smack heard around the world.
Oh, wow!
Some are calling on the Academy Awards to take away Will Smith's Oscar. The actor became enraged after Chris Rock poked fun at Smith's wife Jada's bald head.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Smith's and Chris Rock is stunned. His eye roll indicates her displeasure.
Uh-oh, Richard!
Open hand. Chris Rock is stunned, almost knocked off his feet by the blow, but he keeps his cool.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Smith is not done. Back at his seat, was cut by ABC, but across the world it was broadcast live and uncensored.
Wow, dude!
He across the USA, an emotional meltdown.
We thought it was a scripted moment.
We thought to see.
Did you feel sick to your stomach? It was like a gut punch to all of us, I think.
It's just so hard to understand. His wife was not being physically attacked. She was being attacked with words. She was being insulted. Any man who's married, he wants to defend his wife from that type of attack. But we teach our boys and our girls from the moment they're old enough to walk and understand. You do not react with violence.
Chris Rock is being praised for showing restraint.
He was slapped in front of millions of people internationally, and he took the high road in his response.
Here's what you didn't see. Moments after the slap during the commercial break, Will Smith is in tears, and two Hollywood heavyweights, Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry, offer advice. Then Bradley Cooper puts his hand on Smith's shoulders and comforts him. Oscars co-host Amy Schumer tried to lift the mood.
Did I miss anything? There's like a different vibe in here.
And then 43 minutes and 50 seconds after the slap seen round the world, Venus Williams' father Richard in the movie King Richard.
Art imitates, but love will make to do what we do. Crazy about.
A lot of people have called out the
Nominated for concussion. I get it. Tell the truth. I get it. You get mad. Said it's not fair that Will was this good and didn't get nominated. Yeah, you're right. It's also not fair that Will was paid $20 million for Wild Wild West, okay?
But the G.I. Jane joke hit a raw nerve. Jada suffers from alopecia and has struggled with hair loss for years, finally deciding to shave her head.
I do not believe that Chris Rock, Marky guy,
showing off his Oscar and celebrating into the night, dancing up.
You've been on a hell of a journey with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's healing that needs to happen. Started a friendship with August, and we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. With him just really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state, and we found all those different reasons.
Did she have sex with a retarded dude? A mentally deficient person, or like, what is this guy's
sources?
Who's this guy's August?
Help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
That particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah. I really felt like we could be over. You know?
No, I think from there on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
We decided that we were going to.
She's trying to soften the blow by using different words to describe the same thing. The thing about it is, she just described a physical relationship with one of her kids. With one of her kids' friends to Will. He's thinking entanglements. You mean relationship? Uh-huh. All right. So what is their relationship? Is it one of these another unfortunate entanglements? That's the shit that's going through his mind right there. You see it. He's thinking, what am I and what is my value to this woman? I could say this bitch. But where, like, a kid's friend does more for your feel good than your actual husband. Where your husband don't give you anything but a monetary sustainment. And the difference between being in love and willing to love is the settlement. Being in love is not settling. And he just realized she settled for happiness, not true love. He wanted true love and is giving her true love. That's an entanglement.
Separate for a period of time and you go figure out how to make yourself happy.
I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken.
Excuses.
Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. I would
During that time launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to.
They need like a private marriage counselor, because this pseudo roundtable bullshit, no issues are being handled, and their relationship being broadcast on every which way is tearing them apart. I might say that it's better for Will Smith to just leave Jada alone for 2-3 years to get his mind clear. Cabin in the Woods, say a profound sorry to Chris, directly to Chris Rock. Give him the million, give him monetary freaking sustainment as a penance, or like do one free show, or even, you're a big dude, you can take a fucking slap from Chris Rock. He might need to uproot a fucking mailbox and hit you with it in order for you to feel something. So, oh no.
Good. It had been so long since I felt good.
Husband, now I got to be with you at the press conference while you like tell the world about your transgressions.
Well,
like I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
No, I definitely.
No. You stand on your own before you stand with. This is not a crutch. It's a liability. I'm sorry, I can't watch this. Let's move on.
Traumas, and you can't. Your kids are gonna have their burdens. And even though I see how it might have hurt you, it's what I knew.
Yeah.
Welcome. In this video, I'll be discussing how Jaden Smith confronted his mom, Jada Pinkett Smith, on the Red Table Talk by breaking them down into a series of events. The most intriguing one being number 1, as it may seem funny, yet come as a shock to you. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below saying, "I've subscribed," and I'll make sure to personally reply to your comments. So, let's dive in. Number 7, the entanglement. In August 2020, one of the most trending issues and celebrity gist going on was what most people called the entanglement. Just in case you don't know what this entanglement means and how it became a viral trending word all of a sudden, I'm going to roll back a little and discuss what happened. Jada Pinkett Smith holds a show called The Red Table Talk, where she has heart-to-heart discussions with different people to share views and ideas, and sometimes to settle matters and issues arising. The Red Table Talk was premiered on June 13, 2018, and is being shown on the Facebook Watch. So it all started when Jada Pinkett Smith admitted that she was with someone else other than Will Smith for a while.
You need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what.
So they decided to talk about this on the Red Table Talk. This episode was one of the most watched episodes of the Red Table Talk because people were curious to know what happened. A lot of people sympathized with Will Smith because most of them believe he didn't deserve what Jada Pinkett Smith did to him. Well, Will Smith was on the Red Table Talk to settle things, talk about what was going on between the both of them, and to make peace. During the show, Will was trying to pretend as if he was okay and fine, but his face gave it all away, as if he had cried before the show. The look on his face has been in the memory of a lot of people, as it became popular worldwide and even used as memes. The sad Will Smith, with his face looking as if he had cried before coming to the show, later came out to say that the reason why his face looked like he was about to cry was that he was dehydrated.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over.
A lot of people refused to believe the claim of Will Smith and seemed to think it was just an excuse to bring down the rumors going around. Well, it's very hard for anyone to know if what Will Smith said is true about the dehydration problem, but what's true is that the crisis made Will Smith sad. It's understandable, as he is a human and has been faithful to his wife all along. Number 6, the incident. Getting deeper into the matter, let's discuss what happened between Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh boy. It gets fucking deeper. Alright. Just absorbing information, just trying to go for it, alright? You see where it's coming from. It's off on YouTube. You see the viral film talk. So don't at me. I'm just looking because I'm researching the incident and trying to get some backstory.
And Will Smith. In 2013, rumors were going around that Jada and Will Smith were in an open relationship, and any one of them could be in a relationship with another person.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you
separated for a period of time.
You go figure out how to make yourself happy.
Without
go fuck anybody you want.
The person being affected or the marriage being affected because they could always pick up from where they stopped. And
bullshit. It takes a while to repair. Like the same amount of time that it takes to fuck up a relationship, it takes about almost double to repair it with doing mediocre work on it. But if you're working at it every day, it will take the same amount of time that the relationship was broken to fixing it if both parties work on it. Both parties aren't working on it. Jada will still fuck another man if it suits her fancy. But they're in an open relationship. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's completely legal. Personally speaking, because she messes with other people inside of an exclusive relationship that was closed in the beginning that I have to open, I cannot trust her. And I cannot be with her. Even though that she's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. With a beautiful daughter, nice looking family for the most part. Which needs to be ringed in a little bit because they can't go buck wild and crazy with all the shit that they've been doing. But that's my personal belief and my bias. So let's just go.
And since it was an agreement, everything was okay.
You've been on a hell of a journey with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right.
But later, Jada Pinkett Smith said that these rumors were not true, and she and Will were never in an open relationship. She continued to say that the both of them were happy together, and they were building the family, and most importantly, because they had children together, they would never split up. On the contrary, most of their fans believed that it was just a matter of time before Will and Jada Pinkett Smith broke up because their marriage didn't seem that strong. Number 5. August Alsina. Later on, there were some new developments as Jada admitted to being in an entanglement with a singer called August Alsina.
Started a friendship with August.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually became really, really good friends.
August Alsina was known to be a family friend of the Smiths. Jada Pinkett Smith on the show said that it all started with asking for help for one thing or the other.
Me wanting to help his health.
Will Smith was seen in the talk show trying to keep things together and settle the issue they were faced with. During the interview, Jada Smith was trying to cover up her relationship with August by being careful with words and constantly claiming that all she had with him was just an entanglement and nothing else, and that she and Will were in some sort of crisis during that time. Will Smith at some time was tired of all these entanglement issues and had to make Jada Pinkett Smith come out clean and agreed that what she had with August Alsina was a relationship and not just an entanglement like she kept stating. Most people came out to say that what Jada Pinkett Smith did was wrong, and this affected her a lot. The whole cheating.
I wonder if there's a tape, but that's me freaking being freaking curious.
And relationship accusations.
I don't need to know. Don't freaking send me any links, please.
Making such a decision. Most people couldn't just imagine how weird and wrong it was that she was actually in a relationship with someone else, and most especially a family friend. People also believe that Will Smith was more hurt because
he's made out to be a cuckold.
Never cheated on her throughout their relationship to date. Number 4. The affected son. All these rumors and relationship issues Will and Jada Smith were having didn't affect Jaden Smith because, let's be frank, it's not easy having two celebrities as parents. Jaden Smith said that despite all his parents were going through and what his family was going through, he still loved them either way. But Jaden Smith himself was faced with most people believing that he was the favored child of his parents. But Will and Jada Smith refused this claim. Will Smith said during these times, he doesn't forbid his children from doing anything. He further expatiated that he taught them to know that they were responsible for their actions, and so he lets them face the consequences for their actions. He said that this style of parenting was to allow his children to do whatever they want to do, and also make them know whatever they did or whatever decisions they made, they would face the consequences themselves. He believes that this will guide their actions.
That's a future gold digger right there. It's like one day these two might share a boyfriend. That's what the vibe I'm getting from.
And help them learn
if it hasn't happened already
from their mistakes. He won't be putting his children in
I might be wrong though, so don't think I'm trying to put anything out there.
A cage, so they can be free to do whatever they want to do and whoever they want to be. Number 3, alone. It was not surprising when Jaden Smith decided at the age of 16 to move out of his parents' house and stay alone. Most people were against Will Smith's style of parenting and believe that this style of parenting will spoil a child and probably expose the child to irreparable damage. In Jada Smith's opinion, Jaden is going to be okay staying by himself because she said he is a very mature child, that he was far matured than his age.
I remember thinking to myself, as devastated as I was,
A family. But then we all know that Jaden Smith does not seem to like this idea because he believes that he is working to create a life and a story of his own. Number 1, the shamed wife. Another interesting occurrence was when Jada Pinkett Smith said that she was a mom shamed along with her son Jaden. To be sincere, it wouldn't have been easy for Jaden to have coped through the couple of months his parents were actually in crisis, because no child would be happy about his or her parents breaking up or having one crisis or the other.
We're going through a very difficult time.
Yeah, we decided that we were going to separate for a period.
As it seems, Jaden seems to believe that his mother is the one pulling the strings, causing this crisis, because his father, which is Will Smith, has done nothing but to settle the situation. So it's normal that Jaden is a bit angry, or maybe angrier, with his mother. Just imagine a family where everything is okay and everybody is happy. Even though your siblings annoy you once in a while, you still love them because they have their moments, but then one of your parents makes a mistake that could bring an end to everything. It's normal for Jaden Smith to be angry with his mother for all that happened. That brings us to the end of this interesting video. Do you think it was
She literally defiled his house, allowing another man to sleep in the bed that they were sleeping in, with her wrapped up or entangled with that man?
It's the journey. I mean, we started in this at a very young age. You know.
36 now, so it's a little harder to hold on to.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, there's someone who's been in their underwear with my wife. You know.
As you may be aware, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett have long been open about the ups and downs of their 25-year marriage, and have made headlines for giving fans a little too much insight into their relationship on several occasions. The couple continues to shock fans with each revelation they make about their relationship, and recently, Will made another shocking revelation.
Or the thing is the behavior that's attached to it. Because if you want to have a lot of sex, that's great, but why are you having all that sex? That's what you got to look at. You know what I mean?
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money, travel the world. When you're getting it like that, you can pick out a girl.
This is random. Obviously, I'm not subscribed to the person. I do kind of like the song, but it's but the delivery is flatline. It needs to be more energetic. I like rap, so it's like when people are doing like a lukewarm delivery like that, it just goes. But you gotta like. They're talking, so it's like beep 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 beep. Instead, you gotta put life into those words, man. You gotta freaking words are like a spark of energy, and what you put into that spark can ignite a whole fire, can motivate an entire nation to move. It can literally do a lot of things just because of the energy that you put into these words. You can't just be today on 9 o'clock news. Well, today on 9 o'clock news, guess what happened? Well, there was a fire started in Dumfries, and it worked its way to freaking Marlborough, and we are working around the clock to stop these wildfires from happening. Rumors say that it started at a trash fire, at a trash dump with a misplaced cigarette. It had a methane pocket underneath and worked its way to the surface over the span of 5 days. I just a little bit more energy, no matter what you do. Staggering your delivery so that you emphasize the important tidbits. Something. Flex your tone so that it's not just monotone all the time, and you'll be talking about clearer eyes. You know what I mean? Oh well.
Girl, when you chase your
Skip.
own Jada Pinkett admitting that she had addiction sleeping with multiple men. Now, what I like about this video is she is being brutally honest, but a lot of things that she's going to be saying that she was doing in her life is signs and red flags that I want you to look at. All right, it's what I want you to pay attention to when she started breaking down why she enjoyed being with multiple men all the time. She was addicted to doing it. A lot of women have this addiction. They just hide it better than men. That's one thing that a woman can do better than a man is hide her desires. Why can women hide their desires? Because women are the masters of emotion. You guys just don't understand that a woman wakes up every day and lives out a double emotional life. She has a emotion that she is when she's around men, and then she has a emotion that she has when she's by herself. That's why the true red pillers would tell you the only true tears that a woman has is the tears that she has when she's by herself. All the tears that she has on the surface is always for manipulation. You have to understand, guys, anything dealing with...
I will agree with some of what he's saying, but I don't completely. I'm not going to argue the point. I just know that when it comes to emotions, women can be more deceptive than men. Men are usually... Men dealing with men are usually two-dimensional when it comes to emotional way of thinking, okay? Women are in 4 dimensions. I'm talking about they got freaking 3-dimensional space mastered, and they're freaking on their way to the 4th dimension with rainbow colors in between, color codes, bars, and everything else. So if the sun, moon, and stars are in alignment, this happens. Just I will agree that women are superior in one spectrum of life than the other when it comes to the difference in sexual dimorphic qualities. I use the SAT word. Don't fucking at me for that, okay? Don't. I am semi-intelligent. I've been to college. I still do stupid shit. Just less frequent now.
With emotion,
I hope
women can handle it better than men. Men get in one bad relationship and it changes the way that they date forever. Women would get in several bad relationships because she can handle the emotional pain. With no further ado, let's get into the video.
I don't know about that because, like, a woman can get hung up on a bad guy. Different strokes for different folks, okay? There's a lot of dynamics involved, including sexuality, including attracted to what sex, or if that even applies to you, because I know some people like to claim space alien. I claim Jedi for myself. Thank you very much. Although I would like to cauterize my emotional core so I can just be like Commander Data. Shut up.
Yes, I've had several.
Jada Pinkett Smith opens up about her struggles with addiction.
I'm hoping that it will give people the freedom also in their lives to find their truth.
The 46-year-old actress got extremely candid on the latest episode.
Nope.
Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people.
Find her own way. I'd rather hang with Jada, respectfully. He also.
I'm not.
Our marriage was the most difficult, grueling, and excruciating thing that.
Say, allow me to hide the coward. For the November cover of GQ. To Smith, I don't want to deal with the backlash of that. Actually, it made things worse.
I will come back to that.
Expect Will Smith to do a gag where he would whine loudly or do a bunch of fake punches on Chris Rock, that kind of thing. He'd act like.
I know Chiggs is in here recording or something.
On YouTube with it, man. I like
This
you.
man is up there saying that was his little comeback right there, the little slap. No, that's just.
I'm telling y'all, it was a wrestler slap.
That was real.
That's actually fake.
I don't know. I don't know. That nigga. Now before
that
he,
shit
while
looked
he was
real as
walking,
hell.
while the cut
Exactly.
up in the cut right there.
So where was they at when this happened?
What you?
They just said
It was a relationship, absolutely. I was in a lot of pain.
Offended and hurt on Will's behalf.
Because for me, that was the thing when Og first came around, he was really sick. Yeah.
Fans came to his defense, stating quick to point out that Will was hurt. When Jada Smith described August as broken and unwell due to his autoimmune disorder and mental health, Jada stated that the relationship with Jada, stating, "Will gave me his blessing and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years." She announced on Twitter, "There's some healing that needs to happen, so I'm bringing myself to the Red Table." On July 10th, 2020, Jada's The Red Table broke records on Facebook, bringing in 32 million views. In this infamous episode, Jada and Will Smith came together to talk about the alleged affair between Jada and August. Jada famously referred to the affair as an entanglement. Will quickly calls Jada out, where she then admits that what she had with August was more than an entanglement. Jada admitted that they were in a full-on relationship. People magazine announced that Will and Jada tried to keep their marriage issues to themselves. But with Jada Smith in an affair with a 30-year age difference, not to mention that August was Jaden's best friend, it's no surprise the affair made its way to the public. Despite Jada and Will Smith's attempt to keep their relationship issues private, the bad news made its way to their kids. Willow Smith appeared in an episode of The Red Table, where she admitted she doesn't believe in monogamous relationships. She stated that monogamous relationships leads to jealousy and dishonesty. Willow discussed how she believes open relationships are the best.
I structure the way that I approach.
That's that dumb shit. I wholeheartedly disagree. It's like the thing, if you stand for nothing, then what will you stand for?
Approach relationships with that in mind. Also, doing research into polyamory, the main reasons why monogamous relationships or why marriage, why divorces happen is infidelity.
It seems everybody has a lot to say about Jada's relationship with August, but what about Jaden Smith? What has Jaden said about his mom's relationship with his ex-best friend? Well, nothing. Since June of 2020, when the news broke of Jada and August's relationship, fans have yet to hear a statement from Jaden. We assume that since his mom was having an affair with his ex-best friend, that Jaden would have something to say, right? But nope. Although Jaden has yet to make an official statement regarding the affair, Jaden has made some drastic changes, leaving fans speculating to how he is coping with all this family drama. In September of 2020,
He doesn't want to be part of the family.
Jaden took to Twitter to announce that he no longer wanted to go by Jaden Smith. He said he denounced his last name, and instead of going by Jaden Smith, he asked fans to refer to him as only Jaden. Many fans were confused as to why Jaden would denounce his last name. In an interview with Apple Music,
Whatever he did right there is stupid.
Zane Lowe asked Jaden why he wanted to change his name. Jaden stated that he got the idea from his sister Willow. Jaden said that changing his name was a sign of strength. But fans don't believe that strength is the only reason why Jaden decided to denounce his name. Maybe fans speculated that the real reason why Jaden Smith wanted to be called just Jaden was to remove himself from the family drama. Jaden has always been hardworking and tried to stay out of drama. Even from a young age, Jaden has tried to focus on his own work and make a name for himself that is separate from his parents. Many fans were worried about
If that's true, that's good.
Jaden's response to the scandal, but it seems Jaden was not interested in the family drama when just
He might also have seen what it's doing to his father, and not like the way things are going, so he removes that shit from his life. And sadly, that might include his father and mother.
just a few days after Jada and August's affair became public, Jaden was spotted hanging out on the beach with celebrity friends Kendall Jenner and Moises Arias. Many fans believe Jaden's behavior was bizarre after the scandal broke out. Instead of addressing the drama, Jaden did everything he could to avoid discussing the scandal. While fans were waiting for a statement, in August 2020, Jaden tweeted saying, "Sunburned." Many fans believed this was Jaden's way of avoiding the drama. Some were concerned, believing that Jaden's silence was unhealthy, but many others believed this was just Jaden's way of coping. Ever since the drama has unfolded, it appears that Jaden and August have parted ways.
Look, not his monkeys, not his circus. Good. You're not friends with the dude that fucked your mom.
Since June of 2020, the best friends have not been spotted together, leaving many to believe that they are no longer friends. To make matters worse, August prolonged the drama when he released a song dedicated to his affair with Jada. The song, Entanglements, is in reference to the word Jada used to describe her relationship with August. If Jaden and August's relationship managed to last through the scandal, we're sure it ended when August rapped about being tangled up in them sheets with Jaden's mom. While seemingly everyone in Jaden's life was wrapped around the scandal, Jaden was too busy working to promote his new album. When fans pushed more for him to open up about the affair, he stayed focused on his work and started promoting CTV3 Hardcore. While many fans are worried about Jaden's silence, others are glad he's staying away from the drama. We think Jaden is staying silent to stay out of the drama and focus on his career. Tell us what you think. Are you glad Jaden...
If he's really doing that, that's a smart boy. And I totally respect him for freaking taking that stance. That is a good one. I don't have it in me to freaking go back over. But you saw how this whole thing freaking developed. And it's a shitty mess. To be honest with you. I mean, like, his daughter is going to follow in his mother's footsteps and suffer some of the same curses that plagues her mother, and she doesn't realize that. Dad is so busy in love that it's not true love. Is so addicted to a bad person that he's not realizing that his ship is sinking, and at the rate that it's going to pick up speed and freaking break the sound barrier on the way down. Hey. Yes, I do agree with you there. Chris is a true professional. And welcome to the stream, Robin Goodfellow. I think that the biggest thing that Will could have done is take his family up and walked away from that situation altogether. Regardless of if they was going to nominate him or not, he could have just found out something about it. But like from the things that I reviewed, she was constantly having sex with other people throughout her marriage relationship, and it was closed at that time. She was known for having a relationship with Tupac. I'm not sure if that's true. I should have researched it further, but I need to go back to that. Chris did. All right, right. It seems like, yeah, a bad relationship will do that. And like when a man reacts that way, he's being eaten up from the inside out. So let's just assume that a man is usually stable, like a rock or a stone, and a bad relationship with anybody or anything eats away at the inside of him like acid. That crack right there isn't a break on the outside. That crack is internal and structural. Okay? That's somebody, and that's something coming from somebody that he trusted. And the best thing that I can recommend for that type of situation for myself and others is when you know that somebody betrays your trust in that way and ruins your expectations of the relationship that you're in, you're best off separating yourself from them. Even if it's just for a little while, you need to recalibrate, you need to remove yourself from the situation. You need to remove yourself from the public. You need to, like, freaking, go on a spiritual journey and freaking rediscover yourself. And if you freaking come back and you find yourself like, this isn't who this isn't who I am, this isn't what I want to be, then the choice is obvious. You need to walk away from that situation. So it's hard because it's a celebrity and they're put on the pedestal. It's hard to say what exactly needs to happen because they're a celebrity and they need to be put on the pedestal. But Will Smith needs to get away from Jada. Period. Needs to separate. Needs to separate finances, everything. Will Smith needs to be Will Smith, not Will and Jada. Is what I'm getting at. That's problem number one. Problem number two is that freaking entanglement mess is too fresh on his mind and he's desperate trying to keep Jada in his life. And the point that I was making earlier is it's not love, it's an addiction. The love is not reciprocated. It's not agreed upon by Jada. Because she'd rather fuck other people too. Why did they make an engagement public at all? I don't have any freaking good reason why to say that. But the only person that seemed to have like Scruples is Willow, where he's like trying to stay quiet about the situation. He removed his name being Willow, or not Willow, but Jaden Smith. I'm sorry. Instead of just call me Jaden. Something big has to happen for like you to say, look, y'all are crazy. I'm just myself. Peace. And middle fingers up to the world. You know what I mean? So, like, to me, it's just stupid. Number one, it's a broken man that got pussy whipped into submission. Because, like, you saw him laugh at the joke first, then took a moment to reflect and look at his wife. Oh, she didn't like it. I need to freaking overcorrect this situation right now. Only thing that you needed to do was pick your fucking happy ass up and take your wife home. And to be honest with you, I got roasted at a comedy club before. That wasn't even a singe. Alright, that wasn't even a fucking insult, dude. That wasn't like on the scale of freaking Arctic to fucking scalding ass water, boiling your bones and freaking making your meat freaking separate apart. Dude, that shit was freaking ice cold. Like you were running ice cold bath water with a freaking 5-pound bag of ice in there. Yeah, exactly. I can't agree with you more. I cannot agree with you more, man. So, shoot. Normally, I'm just playing video games and stuck in my own world, but like lately on family and everybody else been bombarding me about my take on things, and I took a while on purpose to get around to it because I don't like to hop on everything right away. But it's just, I feel sorry. Not for Chris Rock. Chris Rock did his fucking routine perfectly, man. Even with somebody getting physical with him, he freaking conducted himself professionally. But Will Smith and Chris Rock were friends. They knew each other. They did shows and movies with each other. Why would you slap one of your best friends? Now they're talking about you'll never win another reward. Matter of fact, the last reward that we gave you, we're thinking about taking that back. There's no way that you can be the best actor slapping the host of our fucking show. And the last thing that black people, black men especially, needs is another example of how to turn a prestigious award into a poor man's Apollo. I mean, goddamn, we used to be kings. You know? We used to conduct ourselves with all types of respect, demanding respect and honor from our adversaries. Now, little freaking... no, Will Smith is a big dude, so I'll give him that. But freaking... this bitch can't take a joke. you take another look at the Oscars. There's quite a few black people or other people of color in the Oscars. They made sure of it. Okay? Matter of fact, it's like a freaking. It's always something dealing with like somebody with certain people that freaking buys into freaking colorism instead of performance, that they don't see some of their kind there. So like, I try to be professional as possible and colorblind with the whole freaking way things are. I acknowledge whatever type of freaking person that you might be, but that won't be a deciding factor in judging you. And Jada has a real problem because she can't stop sleeping with other people that she wants to sleep with. Now, if she was single, that would have been fine, but she's supposed to be exclusive to Will. Oh no, they're in an open relationship. This dumbass actually allows it and agrees with it to freaking stay with his Jada. Man, that bitch would have been on the curb so fast at this point in my life, man. Oh, you want to sleep with him? Well, you can go live with him too. All this shit here, mine. Oh, you all right? Take all your shit and go. You got 30 days. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's doing it to himself for the most part. He's doing it to himself. So like, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to like really give him the benefit of the doubt, but the way that I described the situation, at first the hamburger was the best hamburger that you ever had. You know what I'm saying? But he keeps on taking the bite of the hamburger and it's starting to rot. It's a couple days old. It's starting to get freaking rancid. Freaking other shit has been to it. And I love this hamburger. It's delicious. I'm like, dude, no. Put that shit away. It's no good for you. But he's hung up on the first time that he ever had that hamburger. And not realizing that it's not the same of what he could be getting somewhere else. But he needs to break himself away from Jada Pinkett, because I don't give a fuck about what she chooses her name to be, because it's still Jada Pinkett or whatever the fuck that you want to call that shit. But it's still Jada Pinkett, right? She just added Smith to the back of it, and she made sure that you call her by that name. Number two, you know that she used to get ran through when she freaking used to fuck Tupac. Tupac used to freaking, all right, you want to fuck me? You got to fuck my mans too. You got to fuck their mans too. And that shit quickly multiplies. I know, because I used to participate in parties like that, but I have long since grown up, one. And two, I'm not a teenager like that no more. I can't fuck like a jackrabbit. Because of that bitch move that he made at the Oscars, being all emotional and shit, yeah, that might be true, but also at the same time, that might be him going through emotional turmoil. I'll tell you what. Stuff like this makes men go gay. Because they don't want to deal with women no more. But I have not seen Will Smith with another guy. I haven't heard any rumors about him being with another guy. And that'll be another thing that I need to try to confirm or deny. So I don't have anywhere to start or anything to substantiate that with. But I do acknowledge that he kissed his son on the lips for like freaking on a show and said, "Stop being this way or that way, come here." And that's part of like the desensitizing that Hollywood likes to pull on their freaking people. Just like there has not been a black comedian that didn't dress up as a woman. Hollywood likes to do that to every single black man. Doesn't matter what their walk of life, they could believe in Jesus. Well, there's Tyler Perry. A black man cannot just be a man as a comedian in Hollywood. Matter of fact, you won't make it in Hollywood unless you do a gay part. Will Smith, he played a gay dude. It's part of bringing. It's a theory that I have about Hollywood breaking people in, and like you won't get into the $100 million club without doing. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Patrice O'Neal too. Without doing something, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the bullshit for shock value and everything else. So it's just disheartening that, you know, it's breaking people's lives is what it's doing. But you know what? Let's look at what we can find on the internet. Don't mind these. They're just special. Okay? Don't look at them. They don't exist. Let's see. You said, did I spell that right? Yeah. Well, let's take a looky look. Boston. Man, goddamn diabetes. Okay, we'll use the specifics.
I love when people take my bait. Where is it? I don't even know where it is now. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Kevin from Buffalo. How can you not acknowledge Dream Theater as a band? Explain. They're one of the most talented bands to ever exist, and I'm not the only one to believe this.
It's something that I'm probably going to need to spend a little bit extra time searching through. Let's see if we can find something else. But he was the best. The movie was in the cut. All right. I'll check out the movie. But not right now, though. Let's see. Let me see. How did he spell his name? Oh my God. Were they in the same high school? She's settled. That's different. She's holding on to him. He's holding on to her. They're not happy at all. Oh, man. I think they're going to share. That her and her daughter are going to share a boyfriend, just because the way that they're both hardwired. Beautiful daughter though, but I wouldn't do anything with that. That's freaking dumb. What? Tupac is in a different weight category compared to Will Smith. Will Smith is an easy heavyweight. He's much lighter than that. And is way taller than Tupac, too. Hold on. That's terrible. That is terrible. In a different world, these two would be together. She wasn't a drug dealer. She must have been a runner. Ain't no way that she was a drug dealer. She literally had what?
As many of you know, today is Pac's birthday. He would have been 50 this year. And of course, you know, I went down memory lane. Over the years, Pac wrote me many letters and many poems, and I don't think this one has ever been published, honestly. He had a song called Lost Souls on the gang-related soundtrack, but I believe this was the original concept because he wrote this, I believe, when he was at Rikers. And I was like, I don't think he would have minded that I share this with you guys. Some say nothing gold can last forever. And to believe this, I need no proof. I have witnessed all that was pure in me and be changed by the evil men can do. The innocence possessed by children once lived inside my soul.
I'll save that for later. Mother. She is still thinking about Tupac.
Actress, which is Jada Pinkett. Later on, she became a star. You know what I mean? The second time I
Tupac and Jada Pinkett. Did you see the unreleased poem that Jada Pinkett shared on Tupac's birthday that Tupac wrote her?
Yeah, I seen the poem, the post that she, her Instagram post, you know, when she put up the poem that Pac wrote for. It was dope, definitely. You know, Jada Pinkett and Pac, it was very close, very, very close. I remember when I first came around Pac, Jada Pinkett was in a movie. It might have been the first movie she ever starred in with the Wayans brothers, or one of the Wayans brothers. I forget the name of it. And we was in Atlanta, and he just said, we going to the movies, and we went to the movies. And I'm a kid, and I'm like, this movie boring as hell, you know what I mean? But Pac just was staring at the, you know, the screen, just paying attention, and he was, really heavily involved in the movie and very focused. And then after, the movie was over, I think a couple days later, I heard him mention it to someone that he knew the actress, which is Jada Pinkett. Later on, she became a star. You know what I mean? The second time I probably heard him talk about is when, he went to LA. He was very upset, you know what I mean? Pac came in the room. He's like, man, Jada, she gonna contact me and tell me don't do nothing to Will Smith. So Pac was upset. He was like, I don't know why she think that I would have tried to make some problems with Will Smith. So I guess it kind of hurt him that, you know what I mean? He had a lot of love for Jada Pinkett, a lot of respect for her. A lot of respect for her.
So Tupac was cool with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith dating and talking at that time.
Was he cool with them? He had no other choice, I think. You know what I mean? I think Pac respected Jada Pinkett so much where that was her choice. And he was the type of person that he's going to, you know what I mean? He's going to support her, He like I said, he was offended when she asked him not to do anything to Will Smith from a standpoint not to be violent towards him. And I think that just probably hurt him more than, anything, because he was like, what do you think this is? I'm not like just walking around being, this impulsive, violent individual. So I think that probably kind of hurt his feelings at that particular time,
Shock G, what was your reaction when you found out the news that Shock G passed away?
Wow, Shock G, man, his passing, you know what I mean? And it was sad, bro. You know what I mean? It was sad to the point where, many of us from that era, from the Tupac, from the Outlaws, from this era, the homies, like people that's close to us, unfortunately, it's not too many of us alive. Even though death is written for every one of us.
Yeah, from Big Red, Run DMC to freaking Public Enemy, niggas with attitude. Shit, I can freaking run the block with just the names that I can think of over the top of my head. And hell, that's just the fucking rap. We're not talking about freaking Jagged Edge, Boys to Men, Luther, or any of the other greats that we have in different genres. Shoo. Shush. Good Lord. Hip Hop DX newsletter. I'll say no for right now, but I will continue later. That was actually a good thing. Does Willow look like her daddy? Oh, wow, Jagged Edge. Let's get married. Oh, man. I couldn't get away from that shit. Yep. The shit that we just saw. I don't know how old they are. And I'm not sure about freaking Jada's love life. I'm not a part of it, so like fucking peace, dude. She even had sex with her co-stars on certain shows. Not going to get into that, but it's not a good look. Not to me personally, all right? But in short, I need Will Smith needs to do some recouping, freaking do a mental reset, get away from Jada, to find himself, be secure in himself, and probably give a good consideration to freaking dissolve the marriage to save his freaking mental fortitude from anything else. Other than that, I mean, shit. I think that there needs to be more. I think that Will needs to do more to protect himself, protect his assets, say sorry to Chris Rock, and provide the option to have Chris Rock slap him with a metal glove and, let that shit be that. Just one time, though. One time. He needs to make his life private again while he freaking reboots everything, because that's having an effect on his mental, because everybody's freaking doing easy dunks on him with him being a simp. There's no way around that. I mean, like, his wife unwillingly made him a cuckold. And that's being accurate with the description. So the best way to counteract that is to be just Will Smith, not Will and Jada. And Jada needs to consider putting down her last name, Smith, and making their separation as amicable as possible. Will needs to be happy, and he's miserable in that relationship, and it's tearing his soul apart because he's lonely. And scared. And what we saw on that night is a desperate man trying to hold on to what little he has. And I'm a black man. I've been through that too, with a bitch that didn't deserve it. My ex-wife. So I'm not talking about like, oh, you just need to do plus A plus B plus. Nah, man, I've been through that shit. Look, separate yourself. Get your mental in good order. Recharge yourself. Do some things that you like. Don't respond to anybody that's trying to tear you down and influence you with the negative freaking things that you do, and carry yourself back up. It might not be to the point where you were last at before you fall, but this is you, like, rebuilding with some dignity and some respect, man. And right now, nobody can respect you if you keep this up. Not even your wife. That's all. I'm gonna take a break and shut the stream down for a little bit, because I've been going on this for about almost 3 hours. I am just gonna go straight back into playing World of Warcraft, or catching some more ideal Pokemon and raising them, or doing whatever I need to do to get to post game, because I'm just trying to get good ones, which I did, the Conkeldurr. Well, a pre-evolution before the Conkeldurr that's jolly, so it's not bad. I want it impish, but jolly with guts. And it has bulk up. So I just need to find a way to get drain punch, and everything should work its way out. And again, Robin, welcome to the Savage Nation. I appreciate your conversation, and you brought to me something that I need to look into on my off time. But you know what? You done a good job. You taught me something and you let me know about it. And that's just a good first step. Remember to come back to the Savage Nation. I usually broadcast my stuff in the afternoon, and I archive my things on YouTube. I haven't seen anybody communicate with me yet on Facebook, Twitter, and whatever that other one is. But my multimedia links are down below if you don't mind taking a look, see, and gander, see what I like. But also try to talk to me and leave suggestions about the things that you'd like to see in the future. And if it's not reasonable or rude or anything like that, but more constructive and proactive, I will greatly freaking consider doing it. Just remember to take care of yourself. Look out for number one, which is you, kid, because nobody else is going to look out for you, apparently, in these days, not even your wife. You got to do the hard work it takes to take care of yourself. So stay strong, stay independent, and have a good one so that you can show up next time. Peace.